Hello, hello, hello. This is Lady Lou, the baby boomer babe. And it's a beautiful day in Texas today. And we have a fun show for you, too. Can't wait to get it started. But we welcome you all to our Daily Reset for Success series. We have so much fun on this show because we're helping you to recreate your life, to reset it, to become more prosperous in every way and happier and healthier. So let me introduce our regular co-host, Marian LaSalle. Say hello,
Oh,
Marian.
I'm the regular co-host. Hi.
And we have our very special guest co-host, Sandy Reiling. And she's going to tell us a whole bunch of wonderful things. Say hello, Sandy.
Hi, everybody.
We're so glad you're here because we
Thank
can't
you.
wait to hear this story. We've been waiting for almost a month, haven't we, Marian, to hear this?
Yes, I said get her in as soon as possible. She lost 100 pounds and she's willing to share how she did it.
Yes, so we're going to let you take over, Sandy, if you will. Give us some background on how all that got started.
Well, I've had I guess I could call it a love affair with food since I was a child. I like to eat. It brought me comfort and it helped me be sane sometimes. But the issue is sometimes it gets out of control. And I struggled with my weight. I'm a short person. I'm only 5'1". So any extra weight on me looks really like a lot of extra weight.
Oh, like a weeble wobble, but we don't fall down.
Exactly. And
Hopefully.
that's exactly how I felt, like a weeble. I would waddle around. I hated myself because I didn't like the way that I looked. I would argue with myself that I shouldn't eat. I would eat and then I'd be upset that I ate. And, this love affair, their love-hate relationship went on until I got in my 40s, and it got really bad in my 40s. I got a divorce, and I turned to food. It comforted me. It didn't talk to me. It didn't yell at me. It just made me feel a lot better. And, sometimes you just have to hit rock bottom. I know some people don't like that expression, but it was probably in 2016 in December. My husband said, you really don't look like you feel too good. You're always tired. You're struggling. He said, I love you, but you need to go to the doctor. And he forced me to go. I didn't want to go. I don't like doctors, but they're your friend. You have to get a doctor involved when you're trying to make a change in your life. And I went to the doctor, and of course, she gave me a lot of tests. And what I feared the most was true. I was diabetic. It ran in my family. I was type 2. My A1C was 12. Your normal A1C is below 7. So my blood sugar was averaging probably 300 to 400 every day. And she said, you've got two choices: lose the weight or die. So which choice do you want to make? You need me more than I need you.
Oops.
And I just kind of sat there for a minute, and she said, let me go get your husband out of the waiting room. So she brought him in, and she said, you need to hear this because she needs to do what I'm going to tell her to do. And I was in shock. I didn't realize that it was that bad. I mean, when I looked in the mirror, I saw a much thinner person because that's who I wanted to be. But I had ballooned up to over 250 pounds on a 5'1" frame. And my knees hurt, my feet hurt, my soul hurt is what was true. Mm-hmm. And I listened to what she told me. She said, it's a journey. She says, you have to change your lifestyle. You have to change the way you treat yourself, the way you treat your body. She said, it's important if you want to stay around for your children and your grandchildren that you take care of yourself. Now, that doesn't mean that I had to lose weight rapidly, but of course I had to go on medication. She put me on some metformin.
Ugh.
And yeah, that's what I said too. It's kind of, but it kind of helped. And then I walked out of that office that day and I made a conscious decision to change my life. And I started researching what to do. I didn't want to do keto. I've heard a lot of things about keto, and she really didn't tell me what I had to do to lose the weight. She just told me I had to. And what she was doing was making it my decision, not her decision. And so I started learning how to read labels. That was the first step. The first step is you read a label.
Sandra, before you go on, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Please? Did you ever think about the surgery, the bypass surgery?
I did. And, it was very expensive. Most insurances at that time did not cover it. But I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to even go and say, hey, look at me, I need to have surgery. Surgery is a great option for some people to get healthy. I chose to go a different route. I wanted to do it myself and to know that I could do it. So that's why I decided to it was a long journey. It took 13 months to lose 110 pounds, 13 months.
Wow.
And I just made conscious decisions, and like I said, the first one was to learn how to read labels, because I didn't know that the very first word in every ingredient list was the majority of what was in a food. I didn't understand that sugar alcohols could be deducted from carbs. I didn't understand what carbs truly did to you. I mean, we learned that in school, but yeah, And the average person eats about 180 to 200 carbs a day.
Oops.
That's a lot. I made a conscious decision that I would start lowering my carbs. So what I did is I'm going to eat 100 or less a day. So I started reading the labels, looking at the carbs, and then I realized sugar alcohols are deducted from the carbs, and the fiber are deducted from the carbs. So I understood I could eat better food with less carbs. So that's what I started doing. I would have 6 small meals a day. You have to eat breakfast. It is truly the most important meal of the day because it gets your body situated. You feel balanced and open for the day. So I would eat a small breakfast. 2 hours later, I'd have a snack. And the snacks were always 15 carbs or less.
So, for instance, what would the snacks look like?
Thank you for asking that, Lady Lou. I'm thinking, is she going to tell us? Is she going to tell us, or is she going to keep us waiting?
It all depended on what I felt like for the day. I planned out the meals, but it could have been just a protein bar, or it could be fruit or cucumbers or anything that you just looked at and you liked. It was important. It's very important when you're trying to lose weight to eat the things that you like. Because I'm not a rice cake kind of girl. Can't eat them. Tastes like cardboard. Sorry, yeah. I can't do it. So I made sure I kept lots of carrots, celery sticks, cucumbers, asparagus, green beans, stuff like that. All fresh vegetables. And it's more important. Right, raw. It's more important to get fresh than it is to get canned or frozen. Now you can eat those. And I fell in love with greens, collard greens, mustard greens. I mean, anything that could give more flavor to things. And nuts. Pardon?
Did you cook the greens or just eat them raw?
No, I cooked them.
How did you cook them? Because I've never liked greens.
I used like chicken
She's
stock.
Like, please make me like greens.
I used chicken stock. And just any type of seasoning red pepper flakes became my friend to make stuff a little bit spicier. Less salt, more pepper. 4 kinds of different pepper, lemon pepper, there's all kinds of things you can do. You just throw the stuff in there that you like. And if you don't like it, you don't make it that way the next time. You just experiment. But I bought a lot of power or protein bars because you want more protein, less carbs, and less sugar.
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening to our podcast or who don't have time to write down this information, I want you to know that you can reach Sandra at 682-888-6751, or you can go to her website and check it out, Perpetual Coaching and Consulting.com.
Thank you for that. And I guess the important thing is water and spacing out your meals. So I drank 96 ounces of water a day.
How did you do that? So right now, I'm being honest here. I have a glass of water with a little lemon in it, but that's probably going to be it for the day. That is only 12 ounces, and that's it.
You need your body.
How do you get more down though?
You put flavor in it. You can they have things out there, little powders that you can drop in there to make it taste. Lemons, limes, cucumbers. You can put cucumbers in water and get a cucumber taste out of it. And you just have to space it out. Don't sit and drink, 32 ounces at one time. But what I did is I downloaded an app. And it said, how many ounces of water do you want to drink? And it would remind me at certain increments to drink water. So I started, it was a challenge to get those it was like a little bubble of water or a little drop. To get those full. I wanted to get those full. So I kind of made it a game to myself. And I'm a Pepsi freak. I love Pepsi. And I had to quit drinking it. So the doctor did tell me, drink diet. Now, there's a big difference between a regular soda and a diet, the taste. But I learned to like things that I thought were yucky before. And, the issue is you have to train this to believe. And I decided I was going to look at food in a different way. I didn't look at food as comforting. I looked at it as nourishing, and how could I use food to help me instead of using food to silence the inner critic or using food to silence depression, so count your carbs, drink your water, eat 6 meals a day. And I did walk. I didn't do weightlifting or anything like that because you know what? It was a challenge for me to walk a quarter of a mile. I would get out there. We lived in Arizona at the time and it was always warm so I could get outside, and my husband and I would walk, and he was on the journey with me. It's always good to have an accountability partner. And he never said, should you be eating that? He never said that, but he would say, and he tried to eat what I ate, and he didn't need to lose the weight, but he gave me support. And that is probably the only reason I truly got through it, is to have support.
If you just stumbled upon our show today, I want you to know that this is Sandra Reiling, and she's here today to talk about how she lost 100 pounds. She's sharing with us the things that went through her head and how she finally made a decision to change this. I think that a lot of people forget that. They just try to push through, and they're going to go on a diet, and they don't even think about their mindset. It's a horrible thing. I could speak for experience here. I've tried every diet and it was always awful. And, I joined a gym. I donated my money to the gym for a year and didn't go.
Me too.
Me too. So I'm glad that you're really spending some time on what your thoughts were and how you got support. And we have to remember that some people don't have support. And not only do they not have support, they have people working against them. I don't want you to lose weight or you might leave me. That's what they're thinking in their head. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Well, as a child, I was, I would gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. Kids are cruel. I had a nickname of Butterball.
Oh.
And at the time I was like, oh, yeah. Then I became a Weeble. Then, as I look back at it, good morning, Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn.
As I look back at it, that made me who I am today. And that's sad. But, sometimes your challenges bring in positive aspects. And that's how I had to look at it. But, food is a glorious thing. You can always find something you like, something you don't like. And I guess the best piece of advice is when you truly make a decision that you want to make any change, you have to change it in your mind and change your thoughts about what you're doing. And the first time I went back, I had to go to the doctor like every 3 months at the beginning, and she would do more blood work. And when I got on the scale, I walked in there and she hadn't seen me in 3 months, and I had lost 14 pounds in 3 months. And she wasn't like, oh, well, you have to do more. She actually made it like a celebration that I had lost 14 pounds. And that motivated me because I was like, oh, this is good. I'm getting rave reviews from her. I was happy, but I was more happy with myself that I was able to work hard and do that. And like I said, it took 13 months, and it was a tough 13 months. And it's a fight every day. I am a recovering food addict, and I have to work on it every day. I have to watch what I eat, what I drink. We all like to, now if I want something, even during that 13 months, if there was a piece of cake or a piece of pie or something that I wanted, instead of having a piece this big, I would have a piece this big. And that never made me feel sad that I had lost. I hate it when you say I lost weight. I gave it away is what I did. I gave it away. You change the terminology because losing something is a grieving process. And I don't want to grieve because I lost weight. Yeah. I want to celebrate because I lost weight. Yeah. So that's how you have to look at it.
Well, sometimes when we lose things, we hunt for them and find them.
Well, and that's the yo-yo effect. Yeah. You lose it. And I did that, all the way through high school on. I would eat. Oh, I got to lose weight. I'd lose it, I'd gain it. But you always gain back more than you lose.
Yes.
And it all, like I said, because this never changed, it was only the outside influence that was driving that. And you can't let the outside influence drive what you are trying to do on the inside. The change always starts on the inside, whether it's food, weight, thoughts, depression, whatever. It starts on the inside. And if you can't change this, you will never change this. Never.
So give us some tips on how you were able to change the mindset.
I learned to meditate.
Uh-huh.
And I start my mornings with, I would breathe in for 8 seconds through my nose, out through my mouth for 8 seconds. Breathe in for 8 seconds. Breathe out for 8 seconds. And you repeat that. It clears your mind. It lets you determine what you're going to do. And the biggest thing about losing weight is plan your meals. Know what you're going to eat for the day, like a week. Because when you're not sure, it's kind of like going to the grocery store hungry. And you're going up and down the aisles. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. This looks good. This looks good. And by the time you know it, you've got things that you don't really want or don't really need. So if you plan your meals and your snacks, then there's structure and you have something to follow, and you won't maybe stray off the path, and if you do, it's okay. Forgive yourself.
Oh, did you have a book or anything or online place where you found some information to help you plan?
There's apps out there that I used. There's one called Carb Manager that will count the carbs for you. You can scan the UPC code. It kind of tells you what the carbs are. You can set a target in there. It will tell you, hey, this is how many carbs this is. It's good for you, bad for you, whatever. And I needed structure because I'm very analytical. I needed structure. So that's what I did is or you can journal, keep a food journal of what you eat. See how your sugar levels go after you eat, say, a Snickers bar versus a protein bar. You'll see the difference. And and after a while, when the craving for sugar went away, because the first 2 weeks were hellacious, because your body's going, wait a minute, I want the sugar. Where's it at?
Really?
And you have to get through that. But you just have to be vigilant and believe in yourself that you can do it.
And sometimes I think if I just go on autopilot and the food is right there that's healthy for me, okay, I reach for that because that's all there is in there. If you're smart, the chips and the cookies have to be pitched out. And you don't know how many times over my lifetime I have pitched out Bluebell ice cream. Oh, God, forgive me.
Well, but the whole thing is they make all kinds of sugar-free things. Bluebell has sugar-free vanilla ice cream. Mm-hmm. Marvelous. It tastes just like regular Bluebell. There's potato chips out there that are veggie chips that you can eat. There's even cans that look like Pringles that are made from broccoli and stuff like that taste like potato chips. You don't have to give up what you love to lose weight. You just have to be smart about it and make a different type of choice.
Shop carefully.
And be open to a new experience.
Yeah, I want to go find those chips that look like broccoli or made from broccoli. Where did you find those?
Oh, they're at every grocery store.
Where department?
They're actually in the regular chip aisle, right beside the Pringles and stuff like that. And they'll say veggie. They come in different flavors. And, I love salt and vinegar potato chips. And they actually made a veggie one. And it was made with, I think, turnips and something else. And you can't even tell.
I got to find that. I didn't know.
And I'll take a picture of one and send you.
You know what else they have is they have a dried vegetables, and they put some sea salt on it, and it's very crunchy and it tastes good. It's a lot more expensive than regular chips, but it's so much better for you. You could just eat a few and you'd still get that crunch. And those are real vegetables, just dried.
Yeah, I've seen those, and the green beans are pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you just have to make smart choices. If you want a potato, eat a sweet potato or something, or eat half of a potato, not a whole potato. I mean, you don't have to make. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hi.
Lauren says, very good structural conversation. Thumbs up.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. It's all about, in the end, you want to be healthy, happy, and balanced. And as long as you can, and I'm not saying not to cheat, I'm just saying make sure that you're making the choices that are best for you. But before you start any weight loss program, you must see your doctor. You have to go see your doctor. Your doctor's your friend. I didn't think she was my friend at first. I'll tell you, I was really upset because I thought she was just being disrespectful to me. But, you have to realize she's coming from a place that she wants me to live longer. So that's how I had to look at it. So always, always go to your doctor and say, this is what I need to do. How can you help me? Make them an ally. Don't make them an enemy like I did at first. And once I realized she was on my side, we were great. We were great. she was always like the biggest cheerleader besides my husband that I had. So
Sandra,
make a friend.
Sandra, after you go see the doctor and you get tested for everything, can they then plug into somebody like you who can help them through this? Is that the kind of coaching you do?
I do diabetes wellness coaching. And what that does is just to help you get through and manage your diabetes. And I have a wellness coach that actually works with me, and he is an executive chef. He teaches healthy eating, and we can definitely tap into that. There are diabetic support groups out there, even online on Facebook and LinkedIn and places like that. You can find that. It's best to find some sort of support network for yourself, because there's people that have been through what you've been through that can help you and guide you. That's a great suggestion, Marian. Great suggestion.
Yeah, and I can hear people out there in the audience now saying, but I don't have a husband, or my husband would not support me. So find a friend. And you can Zoom. Marian and I many times have been here on our Zoom. We have lunch. I'm eating a sandwich and she's eating whatever she's had, soup or something that she's made. And you can make great soups, by the way. Soups are one of the best things you can eat. What was it? Cabbage soup that we used to make that was a weight loss soup. But get a friend, get an ally, get 2 or 3 of you together if you have to. And once all this nonsense with the virus is over, then you can go out and eat, find healthy places to eat, the salad bars. And of course, even at a salad bar, you have to be careful what you pick up.
Exactly. You know, I don't think salad bars are going to come back because people put their hands in it. I think they're going to get rid of salad bars. I think you're going to have to just order it. And I think the biggest problem with going out to eat and getting a salad is the dressing. So I have found that you can bring your own dressing and no one says a word.
Well, what I did with that is I always ordered it on the side, and I would dip my fork in there with my whatever lettuce or whatever I had, and I would dip and eat. And you eat a lot less of it. I like vinegar and oil, which was what I like to put on. I put on my salads. And seasonings are your friend. That's the thing. When you're trying to eat healthy, there are some seasonings out there I had never heard of, that gives things flavor. And like I said, red pepper flakes were my friend. You just put them in everything. It makes it a little spicy, gives it a little bit of taste, and you can go on. And you try things once. If you don't like it, don't eat it again.
There you go.
That's the whole thing. It's a process. Everything's a journey and a process. And it's a lifestyle. You have to change the way you look at things, change the way you do things, and then your lifestyle will change. And that's what happened to me.
Well, I have found, and I think even people who live in an apartment, if they have a sunny window, like in the morning or late afternoon or something, start growing your own herbs. You can get those little tiny pots. I like the bigger pots, but I've got an outdoor yard. I can put my veggies out in the yard and grow your own cilantro, grow your own basil, grow your own whatever you like in the way of an herb, and then cook with it or season your salad. I love cilantro in salads and soups. So give those things a try because they've got minerals and vitamins and all kinds of good stuff in the herbs.
My girlfriend, her birthday is June 30th, and I decided to get her one of those tower gardens, where you put, it automatically just keeps the water flowing, and you just put you have lettuce growing, you've got cilantro, all the basils, everything going. And you literally could go and have your dinner off this little tower. It's really cool. And they have it so that if you live in an apartment, they have the light so you could grow your own inside. And it's on a roller so you can roll it around. It's pretty cool. Ladies, I am so sorry to tell you that we have run out of time. We just got started. Okay, so Sandra, you'll have to come back and help us through once we, are losing the weight. Then what? Okay. I know there's much of this story. Thank you for joining us. I really enjoyed it. I know that Lady Lou did as well. We've been looking forward for you to come on. And so if I'm going to put your information back up on the screen. If you want to get a hold of Sandra, it's 682-888-6751, or you can go to her website, perpetualcoachingandconsulting.com, and she can answer any questions that you might have. I'm sure we brought up some today. Thanks again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Sandra. Bye,
Bye for
everybody.
now. And remember, create a fantastic day for yourself. Just do it. You can do it.
Mm-hmm.